So first of all, regarding the Periwinkle Award, the Periwinkle Award recognizes outstanding personal effort and perseverance to help save a historic cemetery. Periwinkle, or as we may know it, Vinca minor, is a durable flowering ground cover, often used throughout the 18th and 19th century as an alternative to grass. Over the years, the coalition has honored 57 individuals and organizations for cemetery projects throughout the state of Maryland. We want to congratulate the 2021 Periwinkle Award recipients, beginning with Mr. Edward Dean. For the past 16 months, Eddie Dean has aggressively advocated for cemeteries on Maryland's Eastern Shore. In both Wicomico and Dorchester counties, he has cleaned up 9 cemeteries and accumulated more than 600 volunteer hours with a total of 12 different projects. His most recent cemetery project was advocating and being the voice for the Houston Cemetery in Salisbury, Maryland, where he single-handedly took on the town of Salisbury and forced them to stop a well-intentioned Boy Scout project from damaging and altering an African-American cemetery that was not owned by the city. Most recently, Eddie has organized and established the Lower Shore Cemetery Preservation Organization, 501c3, to help in his efforts to preserve and protect Maryland burial sites on the Eastern Shore. I should realize I am not in the PowerPoint mode. I apologize. I am slideshow. And you can see this now?
Yes.
Okay, and we congratulate Eddie wholeheartedly for all of the work that he is now doing. Our second Periwinkle Award goes to Cynthia Eisenrausch, who has been working as a tireless volunteer to restore the Oakley Pet Cemetery for the past 11 years. There are approximately 38,000 pets buried here, with the oldest grave dating back to 1936, long before the surrounding community was established and the surrounding roads were paved. Due to a family situation, she was unable to care for the cemetery for several years. The cemetery was horribly overgrown in 2018 when we first became aware of her efforts. She has created a Facebook page called Help Save and Preserve the Oakley Pet Cemetery. She has recruited volunteers, taken on an uncaring community, and challenged a local politician trying to rezone the property. She has worked hard and has used her own finances. She has paid for dumpsters, had local professional tree and landscaping work done, had trash removed, had bags and bags of leaves collected from the heavily treed site, had concrete walls repaired, and has held cemetery cleanups. She added ground cover to reduce the need for mowing, which is very important. The local community has benefited from her efforts. The owner of the cemetery has not paid taxes or fines for its upkeep, and it has gone to tax sale several times. Cindy is working with a potential buyer hoping to renovate a house on the property for a live-in caretaker to maintain the property and expand the potential for additional burials. The coalition wholeheartedly congratulates Cindy on this effort. Our third Periwinkle Award goes to somebody who I truly adore, Julian Mangin. She is from Montgomery County and has spent years researching and recording the history and burials of Aspen Hill Memorial Park. As the cemetery's ambassador, she has worked with the coalition, Montgomery County's planning department, and the Humane Society to make information known about the cemetery's condition and its important occupants, upwards of 55,000 pets, and at least 50 human beings who are buried there. Most recently, she gained exclusive access to archival burial records, which will help the community understand more about this property. Julianne posts thoroughly sourced details on her blogs, including newspaper articles, photographs, land records, and notable grave marker inscriptions. Julianne has documented the deterioration of the cemetery as well as noted issues that have arisen from improper permitting and destruction of graves. She is currently involved with the issues relating to planned construction at the site for the Humane Society. She visits the cemetery regularly and continuously monitors its activities and is very, very deserving of the Coalition's Periwinkle Award. And we congratulate Julianne Mangin.
Thank you for the presentations. They are all three deserving. Eddie Dean could not be here today, but Julianne and Cynthia are, if either of them would like to say anything. We've got time for that.
Yes, please unmute and show video.
Unmute. Let's see. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Sure
can, Julianne.
can.
Okay, I can't figure out how to get the video going, but I won't take up time fishing around for that. Anyway, it's too bad because I dressed up for this. But anyway, I thank you very much for this honor, and having only been part of this organization for a couple of years, I feel like a newbie. I'm very honored to be receiving this award, and I also feel honored to be in the company of people doing great things. And I thank you very much.
Thank you, Julianne. Can you say just a bit about the number of human burials that you've been able to research and find and document at Aspen Hill?
Sure. I sure wish. Okay, I just figured out, I think, how to put my video on. No,
You actually, you have a pretty square in the middle of my screen, and you're
okay.
all
Oh, I know why. Never mind. I won't worry about it. Anyway, yes. The reason is that most cemeteries won't allow animals to be buried in cemeteries intended for humans. So these were people who love their pets so much that they decided, well, they'll bury their pet in the pet cemetery, and then there was no prohibition for a human to be buried in a pet cemetery, so they went with it. And I think that's an important fact about that pet cemetery and others that do that, is it really is a concrete kind of example of this type of relationship that people have with their pets. And that's one of the important things about the cemetery, is it documents sort of this part of humanity. And so anyway, we found between 1950 and as recently as 2017, there were over 50 humans buried with their pets at Aspen Hill Pet Cemetery. So did that answer your question?
It certainly answers my question. And I also want to make the point, particularly for people who are interested in pet cemeteries, and I know many of you attendees are, despite the best efforts of the coalition, and particularly Carolyn Jacoby and Candy Warden, I'm going to say maybe 5 years ago, to legislatively get pet cemeteries regulated with the same protections of Maryland law that are afforded to human cemeteries. That initiative was not acceptable to the members of the General Assembly. Knowing that there are human burials in pet cemeteries has permitted them to fall under those protections. So I'm of the genre that whatever works, go ahead and do it. And if you can document human burials, that often can be a real saving grace for a pet cemetery. So thank you very much for saying that. And that's why I asked the question.
Okay, and I just found my video, I think. So,
okay. And there you are.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Mouth up.
Yes, and I just want to say, I hope someday to meet you all in person, because everything has been very interesting what I've heard at this conference so far.
Great, thank you. Cynthia? You don't have to, but if you want to unmute and say a few words, that'd be great.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I also am very honored. It's been a lot of hard work. It's been a uphill battle the whole time. So this is kind of the cream of the crop getting this. I'm just beyond words honored. I love everything about this organization. I thank Tina for, she literally kind of hounded me. I just was so busy, and my volunteer time went to what I was doing, and she just kept at me and at me and at me. And then just something clicked one day, and I was like, yeah, this is a good thing what everybody's doing. And I came on board, and have some difficulties as everybody had, with the COVID and family issues and things like that, but things seem to be on track now. So I'm just really honored. I'm kind of just honored. I love everything everybody's doing. And I hope to play a bigger part as time goes on. And, I kind of get a better feel for, what everybody is doing and what's needed. And that's it. I'm just honored. Thank you.
Well, thank you. It is
Yeah.
the coalition's privilege to not only fight against things that are wrong, but to actually be able to show all the good people and the good things that are happening
Yes.
out there with cemeteries. And the Periwinkle Award, and I don't care if it is designated as an invasive plant, it is a wonderful indicator of locations of cemeteries, and Glenn has done
Right.
beautiful graphics for the certificates that will be mailed to the three of you. So
Right.
thank
Well, I appreciate it
you.
greatly.